A very strong area of low pressure will be moving across the country. We can see it beautifully here in the water vapor satellite off the coast of California. This will be rapidly moving eastward over the next few days, bringing a wide swath of rain and even some severe weather concerns for Valentine's Day and this weekend. We also have a lot of action on the west coast as we have a lot of moisture coming in, a lot of rain and snow expected, as well as a big warm up. Today in the world of weather, we're tracking anything from feet of snow in some of the mountains to severe weather concerns. So let's dive in. To get started, let's just take a look at the overall setup for the next few days, because the Valentine's Day storm is going to be the main story, and there will be a pretty substantial severe weather risk, really the first time we've seen any sort of severe weather concerns in 2026. So starting off, we're going to get some showers and some storms starting late on your day on Friday afternoon into evening. A few thunderstorms are possible in some of these yellow and orange colors. We'll look a little more high resolution in a minute. Everything will start moving east and we're going to start getting a line of storms developing. We have our area of low pressure at the surface, which will be moving through the northern end of the system, and then our cold front, and along this cold front we're going to kind of get a line of storms developing, and this line, that's what's going to focus our severe weather concerns. Here we are early Sunday morning. We have some pretty robust storms possible in a line moving through Mississippi, moving eastward into portions of Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and the southeast. On the north end, a lot of rain with it, and then everything will be clearing off to the east on your day Monday. So again, we'll go high resolution in a minute, but here are the Storm Prediction Center outlooks. This is as of Thursday afternoon. By the time Friday morning rolls around, we'll get an update, and I'll try to get another video out. For now, preliminarily, we have a marginal risk in this dark green shade, a 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. The main threats here is large hail, so something we want to watch out for from Texas into Oklahoma. And then Saturday on the day 3 outlook, we have a larger marginal risk, including Central Texas, Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma, portions of Arkansas, and most of Louisiana. I do think that by tomorrow's update, and especially by Saturday, we could get a slight risk, which is kind of the next level up, a level 2 out of 5 somewhere in this area. Gusty winds, damaging hail looks to be the main threat. We can't completely rule out a few tornadoes, but tornadoes are a much lower threat. So yeah, if you're new to severe weather, we haven't had one of these systems this year yet. It's been a while. We've just been talking about the cold and snow. Marginal risk, this is a level 1 on a scale of 5, so it's the lowest concern. It just means isolated severe weather, damaging winds, large hail, isolated as possible. If we do get that upgrade to slight risk, 2 out of 5, slightly more scattered severe weather could be possible. So it's nothing like terribly significant, but it is noteworthy and something we want to watch out for. So here we go on the high resolution model. I promise. Notice everything starts increasing as we get later onto the day Friday. We get numerous showers and storms. By the way, the Four Corners area is going to get slammed with a lot of heavy rain and some mountain snow, which is good. We have had very little snow out in the west this season so far. This will be all moving in though. This is where Friday's marginal risk of severe weather comes in. Any of these kind of embedded cells here could be briefly severe. We could have some small hail, gusty winds, especially toward the southern end in Texas, where we have some slightly better instability and ingredients for storms. But this blob of heavy rain will be moving. It's going to be a very wet overnight Friday into Saturday for portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, creeping into Missouri. Notice out here in West Texas, we're going to have some of the heavier convection, and this will kind of consolidate into a line with our cold front, and that's going to be the main driver for severe weather going forward. So as we go into the peak heating later onto the day on Saturday, all of this is mainly just beneficial rain. Some brief severe weather is possible, but mainly just some rain. Out here in West Texas though, this is the line that's going to be starting, and you can see that this starts to expand into a greater linear structure of storms. So heads up, Central Texas, Austin, on Saturday afternoon into evening, we could be dealing with gusty winds and some heavy rain with some lightning, thunder moving up to Dallas, and any of the storms along this line here, this is where we have that threat for severe weather. That's as far as the high resolution model will come in as of Thursday evening, but going over to the global model, we can go a little bit further out and we can see that, yeah, we do have kind of this line of storms moving through. It looks pretty intimidating, at least on the reflectivity here through Louisiana into portions of Arkansas. So watch out, Sunday, this is midnight, 6 a.m. It starts advancing into Mississippi. Very fast moving. Those storms will pack a punch, but they'll be out pretty quickly. And then it kind of falls apart a little bit. This is still kind of a winter-spring transition system, so not the best dynamics for severe weather, but we could still be at least seeing some scattered storms continuing into portions of Florida late Sunday before everything starts clearing off the coast on Monday. And again, notice to the north, we have some of that heavy rain in portions of Tennessee, the Carolinas, less severe weather concerns, but more just plain heavy rain. And on the far northern side of the system, in portions of the mid-Atlantic, we can't rule out some brief snow, but definitely not a significant snowmaker. There is a small corridor here where some heavy rain is possible. We're really highlighting that corridor in parts of the Arklatex up into Tennessee, anywhere somewhere in the blue and purple, that's where we could get 1 to 2 isolated 3 inches of rain. But really zooming out for a broader view, anyone in the blue, you can get a decent soaking. So it's going to be a pretty expansive system, bringing some pretty beneficial rain to help chip away at the drought. Focusing in briefly on the flood risk, again, centered around Arkansas, we have a slight 2 out of 4 risk for flash flooding. So just something to watch, nothing too serious, but some minor ponding, minor street flooding, especially when all the rain comes at once, is possible. Alright, so we got that system moving through portions of the east. The other story over the next few days will be the west, where we have another atmospheric river coming to California. Over the last few days, we've gotten some pretty heavy rain. We're getting a break this weekend, but starting on Monday, we get a second system coming in, and this is going to bring widespread rain for really the whole west coast. Playing the model forward, look at some of these heavy colors, and look how expansive the rain shield is. All the way from the north to south state, even up into Oregon and portions of Washington state. It's just going to be a lot of heavy rain. Some of these darker colors near Los Angeles, near San Francisco, that's some pretty heavy rain on your day Monday into Tuesday. And the mountains, the Sierra Madre mountains, up and down into portions of Oregon and Washington, we're going to get a lot of snow there. The snow will really just add up and compile over the next few days. After the system passes, it's going to bring a lot of moisture further east, which is a really good thing. Salt Lake City has been so dry this season, which has, believe it or not, only seen 0.1 inches of snow to date. So that's very crazy, but some of this is bringing some snow to the Rockies, a lot of the resorts up here into Idaho and Montana, a lot of good snow. Hopefully this will help replenish the snowpack a little bit and give some of our snow deprived areas some flakes to see for the season. But definitely the bigger story is across California, where heavy rain is expected, heavy impacts, heavy snowfall is coming to the mountains. Just taking a peek at the totals, you can really see along the California coast in the red and orange, that's where 3 to 4 inches plus of rain is possible. The highlight here, this is all the mountains, the Sierra Madre mountains getting a lot of incredible snow. But even along the coast, places like Los Angeles up towards San Francisco, Eureka into portions of Oregon and Washington coast, places near Seattle, we're going to get some pretty heavy rain from this. Something to watch. Just a look at the weekly snow totals. This is over the span of 7 days, but portions of the mountains, it's very possible we get some spots near 100 inches of snow, which is 8 to 9 feet of snow possible. This is the big time snow that is going to be really good for the snowpack, but it's going to leave travel very dangerous, especially if you're going through any of the mountain passes. So just keep that in mind. Most places in the mountains will see 50 inches plus of snow, so 4 to 5 feet very possible. But then just expanding broader across portions of the Rockies up into Idaho, all of the mountains here, we're getting a good 6 inches plus, so some very good news out here in the west. Alright, so we got that storm with the severe weather, we got some snow and some rain in the west. The last story we need to talk about is the warmth that will be coming our way, because a lot of us have been experiencing above average temperatures this past week, but even warmer weather is coming. This weekend is going to be warm for many of us. All these red colors, this indicates temperatures pretty well above average. The exception this weekend will be the northeast. We're going to have one little pocket of cold air bringing some pretty chilly weather to portions of New England, but the rest of us will just be warm and tracking that rain and storm threat. Next week though, the warmth intensifies over portions of the northern plains. As we go into Monday and Tuesday, it's just going to be very warm, especially for day-type highs. We could be dealing with highs well into the 60s up here, which is very rare for the middle of winter. It's going to be another warm week, with the exception being the west. This is kind of the flip-flop we've had. Most of January we've been cold in the east and then really warm in the west. Well, we're flipping, where now it's warm in the east and cold in the west. Eventually some of that colder air in the west will try to make its way east, and our fall spring will probably end. We'll probably get at least a little colder again toward the end of the month before spring truly arrives. So I don't think this is the end of winter. I do think there are some opportunities for some more snow, but before that comes, enjoy the warmth this next week, especially if you're getting tired of a lot of the winter we've had recently. So here's a look at some of the temperatures. This is your high temperatures on Sunday. Look at that, we're well into the 60s into portions of Nebraska, South Dakota, portions of the Midwest, well into the 50s. Lows will be above freezing for a lot of us, into the 40s, very mild. Monday, the warmth continues with 60s, 50s, expanding all the way to the north, and then 70s and 80s across portions of the Gulf Coast and Texas. Before we go, just looking briefly into the future, we have that storm over the next few days with the severe weather risk. We have the rain in the west. The next big thing we're going to be tracking, I think, will be up to the north. We could have a few clipper systems bringing some snow, potentially some heavy snow across portions of Minnesota. There's still a lot of uncertainty with how far and where the snow falls, so something we'll be tracking over the next few days. And then eventually, as the pattern shift happens, as that colder air in the west propagates east, when that meets and collides with the warmer air, we could have a few more instances of storms. It does look like the weather pattern will be more active in the week ahead. Definitely something we'll be watching closely. And of course, we'll provide any updates for any potential severe weather and potential snowmakers ahead. So yeah, yeah, that's everything in the world of weather this week. Just reiterating that severe weather risk on Saturday. Again, this will likely be expanded a little bit, possibly upgraded to a slight risk. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center decides. I'll try to have a short update video tomorrow just tracking the system, but just be on the alert for portions of the south and the southeast for some heavy thunderstorms over the next few days. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone stays safe out there, and we'll see you later.